Guys, can you hear me now? I didn't realize that while I was enjoying the beautiful music at the start, you guys couldn't hear me. All right, guys, can you hear me now? That's a shame. So let me know if you can hear me now. I think we've fixed that. Okay, good, 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 good. So I was just here vibing to all that beautiful music, saying hello, welcoming you, asking you to come on in, and you couldn't hear me. That's a shame. But anyway, good to know that we've got that under control. So let us go, let us go, let us go, let us go, let us go. Right. So it's Sunday. We're back again with the Traders Lounge. For those of you who don't know what the Traders Lounge is, it's not really a podcast. It's just really a session, hence we call it the Lounge, where I, in particular, I'm the host of the Traders Lounge. My name is Israel, by the way. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the CEO. I'm the CEO, founder, the CEO, and the senior partner here at Israel Keys Wealth and Israel Keys Wealth Academy. I've been trading the financial markets, starting with stocks and shares, ETFs, indices, a little bit dabbling in futures, but really found my stride in foreign exchange now over the last 10 years, and I've stayed with it through the ups and the downs. And 13 years in, but really only 13 years into trading, but 5 years into what I consider to be the sweet spot of my trading career. This is just a time for me just to share with you the non-technical side of the business, or of trading of the market. So we're not talking about charts, we're not talking about candlestick patterns and all those things. We're talking about the stuff that goes on in between your ears and in the rest of your life outside your trading charts that sets you up to be a successful trader or not. And so we've had a few. This is the fourth edition of the Traders Lounge. The first one we dealt with, I called it the things I learned along the way. So that was literally just a snapshot of some of the biggest mistakes that I'd learned from in my trading journey. The second one, I don't have the banner here or the fly here for that one, but that was a session on psychology. So it was kind of like things I learned along the way, part two, but it was exclusively focused on psychology. Now, last week, we dealt with navigating social pressure as a trader, and especially the pressure that social media will bring. The constant comparisons and everybody posting stuff and pictures of cars and houses and fake trade results and all the things, and the desire to compete and to be affirmed by your peers, and how that can have a real detrimental effect on you as a trader. All these are in the channel on YouTube. By the way, if you are new, please like, share, and subscribe. Drop a like, drop a share, drop a subscription. Let someone know if you like the content on this channel. There's about 70 videos of free content here, about 100 hours in total. You can work through it at your own pace, but drop us a like or share or subscribe. We're going for 1,000 subscribers next. We've just crossed 500, and we're so excited about that. And today we're dealing with approaching your trading like a business. So that is today's session. And so let's just get right straight to it. Approaching your trading like a business. Now, the first question is, what is a business? Because if you're supposed to approach your trading like a business, then the first question is, what is a business? And so for that amazing purpose, I am going to ask Mr. Google to tell us what a business is. And so, according to the Oxford Languages online dictionary tool, a business is a person's regular occupation, profession, or trade. A regular occupation, profession, or trade. That's the genius definition of a business. So complex. It's also an activity that someone is engaged in, something that is of concern to that person, And then we see some more definitions. A commercial activity. And then the rest of them really don't have anything to do with the financial world or the financial world. So we're looking at the first two: a regular occupation or profession or trade, or a commercial activity. Now, some other definitions of the word business. Let's look at the Cambridge English Dictionary. So the activity of buying or selling goods and services. A company that buys and sells goods and services. Work that you do to earn money. The amount of work done on number of, so you get the point. This is a consistent commercial activity. You know what, as usual on the Traders Lounge, we will define things as we go along. So this is my definition of a business. A system, an organized system of commercial activity that is designed to deliver, so let's spell that correctly, of commercial, in bracket, and other activity that is designed, the word there, designed to deliver profit and growth, or should we say income and growth. Now, I'm not going to go into too much explanation on what all that means. Just going to move this out the way. My mentorship group is trying to get my attention about something. So move this out the way so I can deal with them about it in private. Cool. Right. So that's my definition of a business. Now, I'm not going to get too complex with it because it really doesn't matter that much, so much how you define it, right? As long as you understand the generic concept of what it is. Something that you do that is organized and systematized. One second. No, I just realized you can't actually. Okay, good. That is organized and systematized, that is designed to give you income and growth. And by growth, what I mean is not just do you get money from the business, you want the business to grow. You want it to increase in its reach, in its organization, in its processes. You want it to grow in its number of people it can employ, for instance, or whatever it is. You want the structure to grow. Now, this is the problem. Many people treat trading as a hobby, and they would rather die than admit it. And we're going to define the word hobby in a second. And I don't mean your husband or your wife. When I say hobby, I don't mean your husband or your wife. Now, again, let's go back to Mr. Google. And let's ask Mr. Google what he thinks the definition of the word hobby is. So I'm doing all this so I can show it to you directly. I'm not just typing my understanding, so you can see what the experts have to say. So this is the definition of a hobby. And if you can see that clearly, let me bump that up so you can, let me increase that. Good. An activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. Again, an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. Let's look at the Cambridge English Dictionary's definition. An activity that someone does for pleasure when they are not working. An activity done for pleasure when you're not working. So based on that, let's go back and attempt to define the word hobby. Now, this is my definition of the word hobby. A hobby a hobby is anything you do regularly, in bracket, or semi-regularly, primarily for the experience of it. In essence, your primary purpose of engaging in a hobby is just to enjoy. Primary. Did I spell that correctly? Primarily, and I spell hobby correctly. Cool. The primary reason you engage in a hobby is to enjoy it. You'd like to be good at it. You would like to get good results from it. You definitely like to make money from it. But primarily, you do a hobby simply because you enjoy it. That's it. Right? You do a hobby primarily simply because you enjoy it. So, if you treat trading like a hobby as opposed to a business, what it means is you like to trade. You just enjoy, the feeling of trading. If you're doing trading as a therapeutic measure, you just like to mess around with a demo account, that's fine. If you have any hopes of putting live money in the market and not getting burnt, you're going to learn very, very quick that you have to treat it as a business. As a business. So let's put that down. Trading has to be treated like a business, regardless of whether or not you do it full time. So I am not talking about making the financial markets your primary source of income. That's not what I'm referring to. And I don't also mean, let me put that down as well, or how experienced you are. Let's put how experienced / proficient. So, I'm not talking about waiting till you get very good at this. I'm not talking about waiting till you've been doing it for a long time. And I'm certainly not talking about whether or not this is your primary source of income. From day one, you approach the markets. The only way that leads to long-term success is to treat it like a business. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean when I say treat it like a business. From day one, let's put that again up there in bold. You got to treat it like a business from day one. Now, let's go back to what the business is. An organized system of commercial order activity that is designed to deliver income and growth. So there has to be some organization to the way you go about your trading. A hobby is something, well, I feel like playing football right now, so I'll just, see what's on TV, or I'll just go to the park and hit my mates up. Now, you can do the same thing as a hobby in a business. For instance, Cristiano Ronaldo treats football like, soccer to the Americans among us. But I live in the UK, so we're going to call it football, all right? And you guys are going to stick with the word football. You call it soccer, but we call it football. So you treat football like a hobby. For instance, once every so often, before the pandemic hit, every Monday, I used to go play football with a bunch of guys. It was a hobby. There were weeks where I felt like playing. There were other weeks where I didn't feel like playing. There were weeks where I would cancel with an hour, 2 hours to go because I had something else that was more important. It was something I did just for the fun, and therefore it had to fit around my life. Cristiano Ronaldo plays football as a business. It is his primary source of income. But before it even became a source of income, before he became a professional footballer, it was his business, because even as an amateur player, his entire life revolved around football. His schedule and everything was built around his ability to give to the game of football what he needed to do. And that is the next thing that I want you to understand, and I'm going to type out for you. So let's put it this way. You fit a hobby around your life and deal with it on the fly. You fit your life around a business. That shouldn't be in bold. You fit your life around a business and you give it consistent and disciplined priority. Keywords: consistent and disciplined. In essence, a business requires certain things. You figure out a way to give it the things it requires, and then you figure out the rest of your life around it. Now, some of you are thinking, but I thought you said you don't need to be trading as a full-time job. I agree. I don't mean you spend all your time trading. What I mean is this: you decide how long a day or a week you're going to trade, what times, what days, the approach you are going to give it. And then you force the rest of your life to respect those decisions. Hello, Esther. Good to see you. Until they become a part of the fabric of your daily reality. Let me repeat. I am not, you could decide I'm going to trade 2 hours a week. That's fine. It's the same 2 hours on the same day, trading these pairs, and this is my approach. This is the consistency I'm going to approach this thing with. I'm going to have to force the rest of my life to respect that cadence. That is how you treat something as a business as opposed to a hobby. Now, I have a couple of things that I want to talk to you about. I'm not sure if I'm going to get through all of them today, but I don't intend today to take more than an hour. We have an analysis session straight after this. So literally once we're done with this, once the minute this video goes down, literally in 2 minutes, another video is going to come up on YouTube, and we're going to be looking at some of the pairs we're watching this week and what we expect in the market. So stick around for that. That should be good. So what does it mean to trade like a business, or to take trading or approach trading like a business? Well, number one, I'm glad you asked. Number one, you need a business plan. As with any other business, you need a business plan. And what do we mean by a business plan? Well, again, let's go back to Mr. Google. I'm intentionally doing this because I want you to see this for yourself. And secondly, I want you to see that it's not so much important what the actual quote unquote textbook definition is. You just need to understand the general concept of what we're saying. So let's look at a business plan. What is a business plan? If you walked into a bank and asked them for any amount of money to finance a business, the first thing they would ask you is, what is your business plan? And if you didn't have one, they'd laugh you out the bank. They'd literally laugh you out, probably get security to escort you. Well, this is what the United Kingdom government defines a business plan as. A business plan is a written document that describes your business. It covers objectives, strategies, sales, marketing, and financial forecast. A business plan helps you to clarify your business idea, spot potential problems, set out your goals, and measure your progress. You will need a business plan if you want to secure investment or a loan from a bank. I agree. And in fact, I love this so much, I'm just going to copy and paste this literally word for word into our slide. How's that? Couldn't put it any better myself. Right, so let's keep the text only. And for the sake of space, let's do this. Now, I want you to see yourself as the bank funding your trading. Because for the vast majority of us, we are literally the bank from which we go to get the loan to begin to trade. And I'm pleading with you, especially if you're a new trader. I mean, if you've been trading for a long time and you've demonstrated the capacity to be profitable over long periods of time in different market conditions, that may be an exception. But for 99% of you, please do not borrow money to trade. Let me repeat. Please don't go get an interest-bearing loan or even a free interest loan to trade. Especially as a new or developing trader, it is a recipe for disaster. Not only are you likely to lose a large part of that money while you're figuring your way around the markets, secondly, the pressure of knowing that you need to pay this back can make you make stupid decisions psychologically. So let's assume you are the person financing your trading. You're the bank, in essence. To trade, Gerald the trader goes to Gerald the bank to say, can I have £1,000 from your savings account to trade? Well, even though Gerald the trader and Gerald the bank are the same individual, Gerald the bank should ask Gerald the trader, do you have a written document that describes your business? Have you sat down to write? And why is writing so important? Because when you write, it clarifies your thoughts, it systemizes them, it helps you find the gaps in your logical thinking, and it burns the reality of what you're saying into your subconscious mind. Do you have a written document that describes what you're going to be doing, how you're going to be doing it, your strategies, and your forecasts? So let's carry on with this. So, business plan. As a trader, your business plan should involve a couple of things. One, your trading approach. Means, how do you intend? Are you a swing trader? Are you a scalper? Are you a long-term trader? How are you going to approach the market? Two, your trade frequency. This is not what's the word now? It's not exhaustive. We cover a lot more of this in the Market Breakers course and in the paid mentorship. This is the Traders Lounge is for free. So I can in 1 hour give you stuff that I take 5-6 hours to give to the students I work with personally. But I'm just giving you some ideas to get your brain working on how to get into this mindset. So how many times a week or a day do you intend to trade? How often do you plan to trade? Number 3, your trading times / schedule. For instance, students, please let the good people of YouTube know if what I'm saying is true. I have a clearly defined trading schedule. I never trade on Mondays ever, except I'm expecting a move so big I'm prepared to give up my day off for it. I hardly trade on Fridays, at least not live. So I'm in the markets Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. in the morning London time, and between 12 noon and 3 p.m. in the afternoon London time, and some days between 5 and 7 in the evening. Now, I don't have to trade all 3 sessions, but these are the only times I will take a trade. So I have a clearly defined time and schedule. The same way if you were working a business, you would have business hours. When can customers find you? When are you at the office? When are you preparing? When are you selling? You need to be clear on this. Your source of capital. Where you going to get the money for this? Are you going to rob your pension? Are you going to tighten your belt? Does it mean no more Xbox games for the next year so you can put a few pounds together every month or dollars? But how are you going to get your source of capital? Questions like your return on investment. Have you ever sat down and asked yourself that question? What percentage do you plan to make daily, weekly, monthly, yearly? 1 year from now, if you put down $1,000, what do you expect to have back in return? Right? Things of that nature. You could also, your team So for instance, that could include your mentor, it could include people that you're part of a trading collective with, but who's going to be in your corner to help you accomplish? And I could go on and on and on. These are just some examples. They're not exhaustive, right? Just sit down and ask yourself, if I was starting a brand new business, what would I expect to have sat through and thought out? Or did I just watch some dodgy webinar where some funny person put up a picture of a half-naked woman and a house or Bentley, and all of a sudden I think I'm going to be a superstar and make $1 million in 1 year? Writing down your plan will help you weed out what's unfeasible, what's irrational. But if you are detailed and thorough enough, a time should come where your plan starts to serve as inspiration. Let's put this way. Let's just put this way now. Let me write it. A good business plan should help you weed out irrational and unfeasible ideas / goals, but should also serve as a source of inspiration. A source of inspiration. That's when you're done with that plan, you should be in a position where you can't wait to get started. You should be like, let me at them. I can't wait to apply this. Now you have a clear, systematic approach, something that you are sure you can execute and achieve or accomplish a clearly designed goal. Now, I know this doesn't sound sexy. It's not tops and bottoms. It's not market structure breaks and all that stuff. But this is the good stuff, guys. Now, for those of you who are registered students with the Israel Keys Wealth Academy, I showed you my journal. I showed you my Magna Carta, right? I showed you that red journal or red book that I put together in 2016, where everything came together. Not only did it include the technical aspects of my trading. So I showed you guys how I began to learn certain things and I began to document my understanding and my concepts. But if you remember, beyond that, it really, for me, systematized how I approach the market. And for those of you who are not registered students, I'm going to be nice to you. I'm going to show you that book. So let's see now. That's it there. January 2006, and I made up my mind that I was fed up of treating trading as a hobby. Now, I was hoping to make enough money to live off it, and I did for a while. There was a period of time in which trading or financial markets were my primary source of income, but I got tired of the frustrations and the fluctuations. And so I began to put together what was both a manual, but also a business plan for me. So that's the book. This is my rather untidy work table at the moment. I just ignore it. But that's the book. That's how thick it is. And you can see it's well worn. It's been well used. Well, it contained things like this. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a short-term trader. I'm not a scalper, but so notice, it says Israel Keys Wealth, right? So what you guys are enjoying today on YouTube and in the class and the school, in January 2016, I'm going to ask each of you to do this. Give your trading career a name. You don't have to start a YouTube channel. You don't have to start a trading academy. You don't have to register a company. But give it a name. Beyond Monica, beyond Gerard, beyond Israel, what are you calling the enterprise you plan to engage the markets with? Why? Because it forces you to start to think about this not just as a hobby, but as an organizational approach. So I called myself, or this, my trading career, Israel Keys Wealth, on the 4th of Monday, January 2016. I prefer fluidity and flexibility over mechanically following signals blindly. The time frames I'm a fan of are 5 minutes to 4 hours. I particularly like the 15-minute time frame. That's changed. I'm now more of a 1 hour guy. My patterns and concepts. And so, look, I list out. Can you guys see that? I'm just going to go a bit further. My students have seen this already, but for those of you who haven't, let me give you some of the good stuff. What currencies do I want to trade? So I listed them out. Right? 28 in total. It's all there. You guys see that? It's all there. Currencies and commodities. My trading approach. I prefer to wait for confirmation and sacrifice extra profit for extra security. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to work for you. That's what works for me. Act slowly to risk money. Act quickly to preserve or protect it. Again, that is my philosophies. Never risk more than 2% of the account balance on any one trade, and no more than 10% in any one day. I don't even do the 10% anymore. Now, I will not risk more than 3% of my account balance in any one day over however many number of trades I'm taking. Set and forget. Don't fiddle with trades if they were incorrect. Meaning, even if you made a mistake, let it go unless you spot it. But don't keep second guessing yourself. Make up your mind what the execution and management time frame are. My phrase is execution and time frame management time frames. Don't make decisions on other frames. In essence, figure out what time frames you're gonna incorporate into what you do and ignore the rest. Minimum 2 to 1 in any trade except scalps. That's now minimum 3 to 1 for me, and I'm usually going for 4. Try to diversify your risk across crosses. In essence, I don't have time to go into all that. So this was the best thing. What are my technical rules? Right? Make a physical note of news every day. So you can see that this guy wasn't just opening his charts and hoping things would go well. And this is gold. I mean, I've only ever shared this with my paid students. I got the bug to share it with you guys on YouTube tonight. I believe somebody may watch this whose trading career is hanging in the balance, who's about to walk away because you've been failing over and over and over again. Well, I thought I'd give you my story. Look at how detailed it is. And look at how good, well, when I say good, relatively good my handwriting is. So I wasn't just slapping this. Notice I haven't come to any technical information yet. That comes later. Right? That comes later. Now the technical information begins to come, and you see stuff like how I'm going to enter trades, how I'm going to come out of them. I began to draw diagrams of understanding how the market actually works. And actually, let me go back here to this. Let me go back to this and this one. A good business plan will include extensive market research of the industry you are about to enter. Nobody invests 10,000 pounds of their money in a traditional business where they don't understand the peculiarities of that industry. Why do we do it? See, there's things we do in the financial markets as retail traders that are just absolutely asinine, stupid, asinine, asa 10, asa 11, and asa 12. Why would you take 10,000 pounds of your money and engage a business that you haven't taken the time to research extensively? How does it work? Who drives it? Who are the other participants in the market? In essence, who's your competition? What's your supply chain? Where are you getting your order? Sorry guys, I don't plan to go on a rant today, but I just feel this thing deep in my soul. And I saw it wreck my life as a trader for the first half of it, and I don't want it to wreck yours. And so I began to ask myself, what actually moves the market? And I figured it out. It's one word. I've given you this already in free video. It's called liquidity. But tonight's not a technical session. Then I began to draw my setups. What kind of patterns? And you can see that. So this here, but I mean, look at this. The forces that affect where price turns and whatever. So by the time I got down to actual technical entries, yeah, that's the end of that. I was extremely detailed in how I was going to approach this. It was a business. Now, I plan to go further tonight, but I think I'm going to stop here. We've got 7 more minutes till we get to 10. Maybe let's keep the night short and sweet. Because I feel like if I add anything else to this, it may take away from the punch of it. Go and write your business plan. Go Google what every business plan should contain. Things like cash flow projections, competitor analysis. Who else is in the market with you? The central banks are there. The investment banks are there. The hedge funds are there. Other retail traders are there. How do each of them operate? How much money are you going to come with? What's your risk to reward ratio? How many trades are you going to take a week or month? What's your expected win ratio? What specific execution strategies are you going to trade? Do you have a set of yes or no rules to define a trade for you that you have tested over time, either in hindsight or on a demo account live? That sounds like an oxymoron, live on a demo account. Till you are sure I can expect to win between 60 and 70% of my trades. I'm winning between 2-to-1 and 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Over 100 trades, I'm likely to make X% profit. And then you appraise yourself. You check or you score yourself over time. What's what I'm looking for now? 1 second. That's the word I'm looking for. So a good trade plan will have clearly defined key performance indicators, also known in the business world as KPIs. How will I know I'm succeeding? Because I have KPIs. I have clear things I'm going to measure myself by every so often to see whether I'm on track. And if I'm not on track, I'm going to be honest with myself, right? I'm going to be honest with myself about the fact that I'm not on track, about why I'm not on track, and what I need to do to get on track. Finally, for tonight, it will include a good business plan, will include a clearly defined, quote and unquote, I can't think of any better word. Let's use action plan. So it's not just plan. Action plan for capacity development. How am I going to get better at doing what I do? Especially if you're a new trader. Let's put it this way. If you don't have if you don't have a business plan, 99 times out of 100, if you're watching this now without a business plan, without a quote unquote approaching your trading as a business, and therefore you don't have a written plan, then I'd say 9 times out of 10 you're not already successful. So if you're not already successful, it means you have a capacity gap. If you have a capacity gap, what's your plan to improve that gap? And some of the areas you may need to improve the gap in, as we bring this to a close, number one, obviously, is technical knowledge and skill. Your analysis, your understanding of price action. Of course, the second is mentality, mind, set, and psychology. Because you can know trading like the back of your hand technically, and like any other business, if you have the wrong mindset, if you have a failure mindset as opposed to a wealth mindset, that reminds me, I've got an announcement to make at the end. If your psychology is all wrong, you're not going to get very far. So, what's your plan to get better technically? What's your plan to get better with your mentality, your mindset, and your psychology? And thirdly, what's your plan to get better at business management itself? Many businesses, including trading, fail because you're good at what you do, but you're horrible at keeping your business going. So there is a business management aspect to being a successful trader. It's very small. It's very simple, but it's there. So what's your plan to develop your capacity? Well, speaking about plans to develop capacity, of course, shameless plug, even though we're outputting all this free content for you guys on YouTube, we do run a business here at Israel Keys Wealth Academy, and we'll be honored and humbled to welcome you into the fold, to teach you both the technical and knowledge aspects of trading the financial markets, especially the Forex market, but also to help you work and to develop you and coach you with the mentality, mindset, and psychology that you need. Now, having said that, some of you may not know that trading the financial market is not my only entrepreneurial endeavor. Ta-da! So, in addition to trading the financial markets, I am also a coach. And this week, a good friend of mine called Aaron T. Aaron is running an amazing program or conference that I recommend to every single person to be a part of. I think it'll do you good. And it is exclusively focusing on the mindset element, the mentality element, the psychological element of success. Now, he hasn't paid me for this. I'm just bigging this up because I think it's something that I think you are really going to appreciate. And I'm speaking at this week. I believe I'm going to be speaking on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, at 1:30 in the afternoon. And I'm going to be talking about developing a wealth mindset, a mindset that positions you to succeed in what it is you're doing, whatever you're doing. Now, I'm giving this as an example of the kind of thing, in addition to just technical knowledge, that you need to be investing in. And the good part of this is, here at Israel Keys Wealth, we don't just give you sessions on how to trade the financial markets from a technical perspective. We also invest in training you. One quick second, everybody. We also invest in training you to master this psychological dimensions or psychological aspects of it. In essence, how you approach it as a business, right? How you approach it as a business with a clear plan to succeed. And so that's my handsome mug. As you can see, personal development, performance, and corporate coach. And this has, when I began to combine this mindset, with trading, with the technical skills and knowledge I was amassing, my trading career went to a whole nother level. So you can register here. Like I said, I think I'm speaking on Tuesday, but I'm not exactly sure. We're moving some things around, but I should be speaking at 1:30 in the afternoon Tuesday. Love to have you. In addition to that, we say, shameless plug, Israel Keys Wealth Academy, $79.99 a month. Come on in. If you come in for 1 month and you feel like it was a waste of your time, if you feel like you wasted your money, if you feel like you didn't get £79.99 worth of value in your first month, I'll give it back to you. I've never made that guarantee before. We don't even have it documented. I just feel so sure of it in my spirit right now. I'm going to put that out there. If you can honestly look us in the eye, and after a month of being in this program, say you think it was a waste of money, we'll refund you. It's the most comprehensive experience you'll have learning to trade for anywhere near the price point. And that's what you're going to get. Now, I'm not showing the weekly schedule we usually did because that's been adjusted for our next batch of intake. If you get in between now and the end of August, you get in at $79.99. It goes up to $89.99 on the 1st of September. And we will teach you to approach it like a business. We'll give you a structured, systematic approach to take you from hoping, wishing, and swinging your bat to having a system of approaching the financial markets on a consistent basis with KPIs and measurable progress that you can rely on and that you can hang your hat on. So guys, that's it from the Traders Lounge tonight. Might not have been the most sexy episode of the Traders Lounge, but perhaps could be the one that is the most beneficial. Now, like I said at the start, pre-week analysis is going to start literally right after this. So in 15 minutes, if you want to hop on back to YouTube, you will find a video in the YouTube channel ready to go with the pre-week analysis. It's been great hanging out with you tonight, guys, as always. Hoping for you that this is going to be your best week trading ever. And like I said, if you don't already have one, the best thing you can do for yourself this week before you take another trade, especially before you take another live trade, is go develop a business plan for your trading endeavor. And for those of you who are registered students, we're going to work with you over the next couple of weeks to help you develop your own conclusive, exhaustive business plan that will excite you but also ground you and inspire you to do the hard work but fulfilling work it's going to take to become a market-breaking trader. See you guys in the Traders Lounge next week. This has been Israel. As usual, okay, I got a question in private. Well, this is how you get in touch with us. IsraelKeysGroup@gmail.com for inquiries about registering. Just send an email, say you want to find out about what it takes, what it costs, what you have to do, how you go about the process. Or you can send us a telegram. You can also send a WhatsApp, but preferably a telegram at the number on your screen. All right, registered students this week, as usual, make sure that your Telegram channels are set to deliver notifications. There might be a few more signals than usual this week as we begin to ramp up the development. And finally, just hop on back here in 15 minutes. We're going to have a short, maybe a 13-minute, no more 35-minute analysis session. I'm not going to be teaching. I'm just going to be marking out certain things to look for in price this week. We usually do this in private. We're going to do this one YouTube today just to whet your appetite and give you some value. Hope you subscribe to our channel. See you in 15 minutes and see you on Sunday for the Traders Lounge next week. Watch YouTube for our sessions. Take care. Bye-bye.